I'm going to read to you a very short set of instructions that Tilopa gave and that have become known, perhaps you actually know about it, have become known as Tilopa's 6 nails or Tilopa's 6 words of advice. And they are so concise and so perfect in helping us to be in an authentically meditative state that I must share that with you. And as I read it and explain it just a little, try to make it, to respond to it with your own being right now. So here are Tilopa's 6 nails or words of advice. He says, don't recall. Let go of what has passed. Don't imagine. Let go of what may come. Don't think. Let go of what is happening now. Don't examine. Don't try to figure anything out. Don't control. Don't try to make anything happen. Rest. Relax right now and rest. So, what does that mean? You can say that in these 6 words of advice, Tilopa really corners the mind, the conditioned mind, the conditioned thought, leaving it not much room for escape. And pay attention how he's doing it. The first thing he says is, don't recall. The first 3 tips or instructions are all about time, because our thinking is time-based. Time and thought, they come together. Thought creates the illusion of time. By using images from so-called memories and visions of so-called future moments. So he is blocking everything. First he says, don't recall. Stop busying yourself with what has passed. Don't waste even one thought about what has passed. One thought. Anyway, the past exists now already only as a picture inside the mind. To even know that you have a past, you need to bring up a picture in the mind, right? Right now, do you have any evidence that you had a past? Do you have any evidence to show that you had a past? Of course not. For such evidence, you need to use some image and a picture, and then to say this is my evidence. But this evidence is just thought. So right now, your mind doesn't have a past. Then Tilopa corners the mind from the other direction. He says, don't imagine. Let go of what may come. So he tells you, let go of the image, the pictures that you must arouse in order to even realize that or think that you have a past. But then there is also another picture, the picture of the day of tomorrow, the picture of 10 years from now, the picture of your day of enlightenment, the picture of whatever. These pictures also indicate that we don't have a future. Your mind doesn't have a future. A future exists only in pictures. How pictures can be a reality? So, if you follow Tilopa, he's telling you, don't recall, don't imagine. So now your mind says, okay, I've stopped these two, but at least I have the present. No, Tilopa is also taking away your present, because he says, don't think. Don't think. Let go of what is happening now. Because even if we don't have a past, and we don't have a future, so we've stopped imagining, we've stopped using pictures, we are duplicating a picture of the present. What is this duplication? It is, we are creating an image of what is happening right now. We are telling a story about what is happening right now. For example, right now we are in a retreat. We are trying to understand the Mahamudra. We have all kinds of questions. I'm here, you are there. There is a picture. The picture appears in the mind. So, can you be right now without the pictures of the past, pictures of the future, but also the picture, the image of what is happening now? Let go of what is happening now. What happens if you let go of what has passed? You let go of what may come. You let go of what is happening now. What is happening to the mind? But Tilopa mercilessly continues. He then says, don't examine. Don't try to figure anything out. Because right now, perhaps, for instance, you're trying to understand what Tilopa says. You're trying to make sense of it. You're trying to connect it to your current logic. You're trying to imagine, perhaps, how you could meet your mother while you're not recalling, not imagining, not thinking. Could you communicate? Or how would you respond to colleagues at work? Or what would happen to your sense of self? Or how does it make sense, because on another level we did have a past and we have picture albums to prove that. So this is like trying to figure something out, trying to make sense, trying to understand, to examine. So Tilopa says, your realization, and actually everything in this retreat, your realization is not going to happen by figuring out anything. Since insight is direct. It is not the result of linear examination, the known procedure of examination. So don't examine. What is happening when you don't examine? You don't have your past. You don't have your future. You don't have your present. Now you've stopped examining. You're not figuring anything out. You're not trying to control the situation by trying to understanding it. By controlling it through understanding. And then Tilopa moves to another aspect of control. He says, directly, don't control. And he says, don't try to make anything happen. Because one form of control is trying to figure out what is going on. Is what is going on is good for me? Is it bad for me? Am I in the right direction? Am I missing something? Do I understand it correctly? Another form of control is trying to force realization, trying to reach something, which means that our mind is so squeezed, is so concentrated that it is actually like a feast. Can you imagine understanding anything, realizing anything when the mind is like a feast? Or can you imagine understanding when the mind is like that? It is an open hand, it is ready to receive. Absolutely no tension. No trying to make anything happen. So if you drop these two forms of control, you don't try to figure anything out, you don't try to make anything happen. Your mind is completely loose. It is open. It is receptive. It is in a mode of listening. So what is the final outcome of all these 5 forms of letting go? You don't recall, you don't imagine, you don't think, you don't examine, you don't control. The outcome is the last advice, rest. As we said in the morning, Tilopa's intention behind the word rest is very profound. He doesn't talk about rest and enjoy, rest in the here and now or something like that. He speaks of a deep loosening of the clinging of the mind, releasing our grip, being here, right now, with the mind completely open. So relax right now and rest. Try to feel how burdened a mind can be when it is doing all these activities, on the other hand. A mind that all day long is clinging to what has passed, clinging to what may come, clinging to what is happening now, clinging to figuring out something, and clinging to making something happen. The unfortunate reality is that for most people, this is their state of their mind all day long. They are hunted by the past, driven by future pictures, exhausting themselves by creating images of what is happening now. Then they are evaluating what is happening now. They're then trying to control what is happening now. That's hard work. Has it taken us anywhere? Perhaps to more hard work. The outcome is that we don't get to know what it means to actually be.